Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Today, Coach Rob and I are going to be talking about tennis hacks and tennis tips for your tennis. Stay tuned. Coach Good, check this out. SwingVision got new commercial out.
Oh.
Check out his James Blake and Roddick. Oh my God. He's still playing?
I mean, he's still playing.
Whoa. Whoa. What? Dude.
That's damn fast.
I can do it, dude. Back in the day, I could do that. I could totally do that, dude. You can do that. Let's go, man. We can show him how it's done. Let's go. Come on. Let's go, dude. Let's go.
All right.
85 miles per hour.
That can't be right.
No, that's definitely right. Man.
88 miles per hour.
That's not a gigawatt.
One more. Watch me.
78 miles per hour.
Hey, man.
Something wrong with this program.
Nah, that's just you, bro.
You try.
Fine,
Let's
okay,
see what
I'll do it. I'll do it.
You're going to go 69 right here.
127 miles per hour.
You can check out your serve speed on SwingVision 2.
Doc, we got an issue.
All right, guys, since Coach Rob and I are the OGs of this channel, and we've lived through a lot of things where, we just didn't have a lot of the stuff that you guys have today. So I feel like tennis has gotten a little spoiled because, like for one thing, you know how many water bottles are out there? You know how many people lose water bottles every day? My Lost and Found has 30 right now, and all it does is grow. For some reason, people lose them, and nobody claims them. Because why? There's so many out there, and there's probably 30 in your home. Can you tell me if there's at least 30 in your home? Because I feel like nobody wants them back, unless it's a Stanley right now. But back in the day, Coach Rob, when I was in college, there was no such thing as a water bottle, right? Like I see people.
It was either a really big jug, I remember like a real big jug that had a handle.
Yeah, it's called an arrowhead.
Probably. Yeah, it was big. I remember that was kind of like middle school.
Yeah.
And it was either that or the tennis ball can was your way of drinking water.
Yes, it just came to me. Okay, so whenever I went out there, it was an igloo, right? It was an igloo. It was either red or blue on the bottom with kind of a white top, and you untwisted the spout,
Right.
and then the thing had like a flip top
Yep.
thing. And
Right.
It was like either half a gallon of water in there or something like that.
It was big. Yeah.
Right? So that was one person that carried that sucker around. The other people would carry an arrowhead bottle, and it was like a half gallon of water that was, I feel like it was 97 cents for the whole thing. And I saw people carrying that sucker around. But for those of us who didn't want to carry or were too lazy to carry the water all over the place, I took a tennis ball can and I filled it with water at the water fountain.
And you rinsed it out, so you weren't trying to drink ball fuzz.
Oh, yeah.
And then you tried not to cut your lip, so you would sort of waterfall it, so you didn't cut your lip on the inside.
I never thought, I think it was pretty smooth back then. It still is. Like the Wilson or the Penn Champ cans weren't too bad. I don't think I ever cut myself on that. I mean, I was really lucky because the college courts that I played at, the gym was literally right there. So I would go into the ice thing. They had great ice. I would just go scoop my ice out or get the thing out and put it in.
With your tennis ball can.
Yeah, all the way like halfway up or whatever, especially on a hot day, and then fountain the rest in. And then I had water for a while, And it was like big chunks of ice that did not melt fast. And once in a while, I would, there was a vending machine there, and I would get a can of Hawaiian Punch, which was, remember Hawaiian Punch, guys? Yeah. My favorite. Yeah, back in the day,
Very
I would
red.
I would pour that sucker in there. It was, oh my gosh, it was so good on a hot day. Freezing cold Hawaiian Punch, guys. Yeah. Remember the commercial? Oh yeah. Yeah, before Macho Man. Okay, so that is one of my hacks, right? If you don't have a water bottle, take a tennis ball can, wash out the fuzz. I think I only washed out the fuzz half the time. But I'm still here today, okay? Now, another thing is we were talking about dampeners. If you didn't want to go buy a dampener, what did we use?
The first ones I remember was a rubber band that was put together down there at the bottom of the string bed.
Yeah, so you've got a rubber band or a bunch of rubber bands, however thick or thin they are. You probably used a bunch of them if they were thin, and you just tie a knot, a la Andre Agassi. So he's about our age, maybe he's a little older. So he knows that hack, and you could still do that today. If your dampener flies off your racket and you don't know where it went, ask somebody for a rubber band. It'll do. Although the damn rubber these days are really bad, and the new rubber bands are not very good. I feel like I'm going like this, pink. It's like, what happened to these rubber bands? What happened to the quality? They're bad now. But in a pinch, you could still use one. Hopefully you get a good one, though.
Just don't pull it too tight.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, moving on.
Yes. So this one came from you, actually.
Right. So when we were talking about this, I was like, well, I remember back in the day, you'd try to get more tan, and you would put oil, like baby oil, on to try to, and more that was more sunbathing than actually playing tennis. But I remember that was sort of a, one way of looking back on things that we used to do back in the day.
Bain de Soleil was the first thing, like SPF 7. Do you remember that stuff? Yeah, they had that dark model on there. Yeah.
If you say so. I don't remember.
Stuff just comes to me.
Yeah, it does.
But so baby oil. When he first said oil, I was like, olive oil? You gonna base yourself with olive oil?
Harry's hungry.
So dark. So the oil darkens you faster, accelerates the darkening process?
That was kind of the thought process back then. We weren't really worried about SPF back then.
Okay, so you're telling me...
Skin cancer didn't seem to be a thing that we worried about back then.
This is true. Very true.
Now you're putting like 100 on it.
That's true.
50s and 100 and 75 trying to... now that you understand what the sun does to your skin and... all that. So
no, I get it. It's like you look like crocodile now if you did all that back in the day. So no shirt, just some shorts, no hat, and you were dark. And you accelerated the process with oil too. So it's like that George guy. What's his name? George. You know George? He was on like a daytime talk show. He was known for being dark.
Okay.
He's not alive anymore, I think, though. But anyways, moving on. George, you guys know who I'm talking about. Anyways, so I was thinking about a hack for what if you're going out for a match, whether it's your team or a USTA team, and literally there is no court available.
Tournament.
Yeah.
Right.
No court available. I mean, like that's always the case though, right? It's like they don't really provide warm-up courts. What do you do in that instance?
Well, hopefully you've got a jump rope. You've got a space that you can do some running, sliding, go through your footwork routine, get your stretching on, try to get your body warmed up to compete, try to use that time to help get your mind ready to compete. You see a lot of people with earbuds in, you'll see the pros coming out onto the court with their headphones on and stuff. So trying to build your own routine to get yourself ready for a match.
I got one for you on this one. Whoever is not playing, possibly the captain, and you're the driver, right? You drop your team off 3 miles before you get to the thing, and you drive over and you say, you got 35 minutes to get to the court. You're going to be warm up when you get there, aren't you?
Okay, now as silly as that is to some degree, but also know the area. We all have the ability to look at like Google Maps or whatever and find out if there is a local high school or something, another area that has public courts that you can try to go hit on to warm up if where you're playing doesn't have.
Yeah, if it's a bad neighborhood, you better get there fast, my man.
Anyhow, okay, next, before we go too far off the rails.
All right, so you said when you get to the courts, look at the sun.
Know where the sun is. It's a little cloudy today, but yeah, know where the sun is.
Okay.
Right? Know where the wind is, so you're checking your weather conditions. Okay. See if you see a pattern. Are all the trees bent one way? You're like, okay, the wind probably is going that way.
Right.
You can look at the net, see if the net's blowing in one direction, wind screens, if those are blowing in one direction. The other thing I always do if I'm going somewhere where I've never played before is I rub my feet on the surface. Just, is the court slow or is it fast? If you can hear and feel the sand in the paint and you feel the grit, you know the play is going to play slower. If it looks worn down and your foot slides on it when you're rubbing it, you're like, okay, there's no grit left in the paint, the ball's going to skid.
So if you're able to slide, it's going to be faster.
It's going to go faster, right.
So
because the ball's going to land and go, right? If there's more grit in the paint, it's going to grab and slow down.
I never thought about that. So if it's like sandpaper, it's going to be slow. Okay.
Right. So if it's freshly resurfaced, they're going to have more grit in the paint. If it's rained a lot or they've washed the courts, it's gotten all the dirt out of it, it's going to play slower.
Got it. Now, speaking of sun, okay, know where the shadows are too, right? And what happens, coach, if you flip and you win the toss and the sun is right in your face on, let's say, this side and your opponent's on this side? Which way, what do you choose?
If you're choosing based on just solely on the sun, right, not on whether you're a better server or a better returner, if you're solely going, you want to take the side that has the sun in your face.
Right.
So after the first game,
exactly,
you'll spend 2 on the shady side.
Right. So think about that if the sun affects you. If it's a hurricane blowing on one way versus another, do you want wind side or do you want to hit into the wind or against the wind?
Everybody is different.
Okay.
I like hitting into the wind because I can swing out on it and I can get a little more just going for it because I know I've got a little bit of wind helping me slow down my shot. Drop shotting into the wind is awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then know if it's a cross breeze. If you have a cross breeze and you've got a good slice serve, use the wind to your advantage.
Right.
If it's swirling a lot, you're going to have to play more balls down the middle. Don't play too close to the sides.
Got it. Yeah. So take those things into consideration, okay?
Right.
Make that part of what you do before you play a match, okay? Now,
you're wondering why we have a yardstick here, right?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to beat me with it.
If you get off the rails, I might. Know if the net is the right height. Don't just assume, right? We played a tournament the other day, and the courts were wet, so we had plenty of time. We were sitting around waiting for them to dry, squeegeeing them, and we had one court dry, and the net was probably a good 4 inches low.
Really?
Yeah. And then there was another court that was wet, because of the trees in the shade, and the net was the right height. So,
Well, not everybody's going to be carrying around a yardstick unless they got bad kids or something like back in the day.
But a lot of people have tape measures, or you can try, like the old days, you did it off of your racket. I think Wilson came out with a cover when they gave away covers, and it actually had a little flip that came out of the cover, a little extender, and it measured to the right height.
Yeah, unfortunately, all the companies are on budget restraints now, and that's too much from the budget. So if you only have a racket, I remember when back in the day, I would be like there, okay, and then
put your finger at the top,
and then like there.
Right, and it would go to about the second string.
Right. So first we did there.
But that was when all rackets were mostly the same length and head size.
Yeah.
More or less. Now you have, everything was sort of 95.
I've always done this and then kind of halfway up. But then that was probably an 85 square inch head too.
That could have been.
So this is a 100 square inch head, guys.
How long is the racket?
This one is 27.
So it's not your oversized.
No, it's not my overlong. I just did this because most people have 27s and not 28s. Okay. So 27. Okay, 27. So nobody questions me. Anyways, so 27. And then we go 27. Whoa, where are we at?
One string.
First cross, or first main, I mean.
First
Perfect. So if you have a 100 square inch head racket, its first main is exactly, like freaking exactly 30, like right there, okay? Okay, 36 inches. So that's your hack, guys. First main, if it's 100. And the Solinco blackout. Probably a whiteout too. But anyways, enough with that.
All right, grab the single sticks. If you're going out to play a doubles match, make sure the single sticks are not on the court holding the net up, or you're going to have trouble hitting any down the line shot. If you're playing a singles match and it has the single sticks, then you know that the net's regulation height for that.
Yep, don't go down the line, guys.
If you're playing doubles and they left the single sticks in.
Yeah. Or take them off.
Right.
Take them off. Don't make it hard for yourself. Okay, now.
Can I do another one?
Oh yeah, of course.
Hand me the can. I don't know who does this religiously, but lots of times people open up a can, they take the balls, there's a garbage can on the court, and the can is sitting on the bench.
And it rolls.
And then it rolls all over the place.
Yes.
Put the can either back in your bag if you're planning on keeping the balls in the can, or put the can in the garbage, please.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Just a little maintenance there, okay? But that's a hack too, because I see it at least twice a week, actually. Not from me, but from other people. Like literally rolling. You can hear it, right? It sounds like that when it falls and rolls, okay? It's not only annoying to the people that you're playing with, but it's annoying to everybody else around you.
We know it's a no-brainer, but please, for those that are...
Yeah, just some maintenance, okay? All right, so finally, know your body. Know your body. I'm one of those people who cramp up. I need to drink electrolytes. I need to drink Gatorade before I play and during when I play, especially on hot days. What are some hacks to prevent that besides Gatorade, or if you can't drink that stuff?
Banana, potassium is all good for you, but a lot of times know your diet. Know what you eat.
Right.
And your body can digest well.
Right.
Like, don't go out. Like, if you've never had sushi, do not eat sushi for lunch and then try to play a match in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Your body may be fine. Your body may not like that.
Right.
So don't be too adventuresome on game day.
Yeah.
If you eat something regular at breakfast, stick to what you know your body can digest well.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like myself get a little excited when you go to Vegas to play, especially in, like the USTA big tournaments over there, and there's all these buffets, like that would not be your opportunity to gorge that night or that morning, okay? And lay off the milk, you know what I'm saying? Because your stomach can't handle it.
Maybe yours can, but know that. Know that.
This is true. But most people, you know who you are. Lay off the milk. Don't eat the cereal, okay? Get soy or something like that where you can actually handle it.
But don't try it day of.
Yeah.
Already go in knowing what you can handle.
Yeah, go eat fruit or something like that.
If your body likes it,
yeah,
stick with it.
Yeah, and don't lay off the eggs too, okay? Because you're going to be doing stuff on the court you don't want to, if you know what I mean. Okay, eggs and milk, gotta lay off that. I think we too old.
I'm about to give you the stick up the backside.
Anyways, I'm just talking from my own experience.
I appreciate you sharing with us.
I'm not going to talk about sausages right now.
How your body responds to certain foods.
Just eats toast, okay? Toast and fruit. Okay, so know your body. Maybe get some mustard ready just in case you cramp up. Make sure you I've seen these little packs of pickle juice and that you can actually take shots of. But I mean, prepare for whatever happens, especially cramping, because that is something you can hopefully definitely avoid, okay? Just by hydrating yourself and maybe taking a pill.
Pedialyte is really good too.
Yes, and that's, and that actually doesn't taste bad. I've tried every flavor and it's actually really good. Orange is my favorite though.
Obviously hydrate. If you know it's going to be hot, make sure you're hydrating before, days before.
Right.
Not morning of.
Right, yeah, because that might be a little too late. Because if you start morning before, you have to all the way through it and even afterwards, or else you will cramp up in your sleep. Yeah, it's happened to me thousands of times. Okay, I thought I was safe. I go to sleep and
Not
it's like I'm having a seizure. Okay, all right, Coach Rob, thank you so much for these tennis hacks and tips that everybody can use. I appreciate it.
I hope it helps somebody.
Yeah, or you got a laugh out of it. Whatever. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.